Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. My apologies for a little bit of a false start there. Nothing said that I was streaming, so I was like, oh, I gotta go push some buttons and fix all of that. And then I came back and it was like, no, you were streaming, you were fine. And I was like, whoops. Check of I-20 as we start to wrap up this work week. Westbound lanes, again, moving a little sluggish, but I don't think it's really accidents. I think it's just volume and looking directly into the sun. That'll do it to you. So exercise caution. Be patient. There's going to be some folks hitting the roadways, especially headed to South Louisiana, getting ready for the state championship game tomorrow. Did I not update the title to this either? I didn't update the titles. I feel bad. I'm just a complete mess on this live stream. But oh well. So we updated the titles there. I don't know how that works. Will that actually like change it? I don't know how this works. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get right into the stream. So it's going to say midday, but we know what we are. We know that this is the evening. And really the focus is still on temperatures as we set up for what should be a chilly weekend. All right, so like I said, not my smoothest stream, but it's the end of the work week, and we've been kind of running around getting ready for the weekend and keeping an eye on some rainfall. Check of the visible satellite, the infrared satellite. And pretty quiet across most of the region. We did deal with some clouds and some fog this morning across southern Arkansas. We got most of that out late this afternoon. Got a little bit of late sunshine. Hello, Ethel and Angela. Thanks for hopping in. Only rainfall we're seeing right now is generally along the I-10 corridor. Lake Charles, westward toward Beaumont, and then eastward toward Lafayette. Most of it's very spotty and fairly light. Temperatures across the area. Low 60s, where again we were sluggish to get rid of the cloud cover across southern Arkansas. Across northern Louisiana, temperatures skyrocketed this afternoon. We were expecting low 70s, or at least the upper 60s, and most of us landed in the low end of the 70s. Dew points are on the climb. Cloud cover will be on the increase tonight and continue through the daytime hours on Saturday. Winds not much of a factor. We are working a weak cold front through the region. That boundary will bring some northerly winds in at least briefly tonight. Then the winds swing back around to the south as we go into the day tomorrow. We'll outline all that in just a minute. First off, look at Futurecast, made possible by Bayou Power Sports. I-20 frontage road in Monroe shows the front that we really expect to be the more impactful one arriving in our area Saturday evening. Again, there's a weak boundary passing through the area as we speak. It will bring a little bit of a dip temperature-wise to start the daytime hours on Saturday and to start the weekend. But then that final boundary passes through the area late Saturday, early Sunday. A few showers possible along the way, and then temperatures fall. The colder air is much drier air, so skies should clear pretty rapidly as we go through the daytime hours on Sunday. Temperatures, again, expected to generally fall. In terms of rain totals, the focus is not on rain. The focus is generally on the cold air that arrives Saturday, Sunday. So let's take a look at temperatures. And again, this is the Barron 3K model. It shows that overnight tonight, the northeasterly winds probably push most of us back into the 40s. Some of us could see the upper end of the 30s, especially across southern Arkansas. As we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, again, winds briefly back out of the south, but temperatures are noticeably cooler than where they were today. Still mild in the low 60s in a lot of spots, upper 50s across southern Arkansas. And in the front, that secondary boundary arriving in the area along I-20 by around midnight, 1 a.m. Sunday. Temperatures fall after that, likely to near the freezing mark Sunday morning. They shouldn't recover much Sunday afternoon. I know it's indicated here that we could get into the low 40s. I'm not optimistic about that. I think we'll spend most of the day, Sunday, in the 30s, with a lot of us dropping well below freezing on Monday morning. And I stopped at Monday at 6 a.m. because generally speaking, that's when I expect us to probably be at our coldest temperatures. And again, this is one computer model that has us at in the low to mid-20s generally. The blend of models even can't rule out upper teens. Camden, portions of Calhoun, Bradley, Ouachita counties, Drew County, Upper 20s are not out of the realm of or upper teens are not out of the realm of possibilities there. Low to mid 20s for the rest of us. Again, this is a blended product. I like to use this for temperatures. I think it has usually does a pretty good job in the performance there. GFS model shows low to mid 20s. Again, most of them all fall kind of in the same general numbers, except the Canadian model, which is a little bit more aggressive. For those that are worried about wind speeds really peak between 15 and about 20 miles per hour as we go through the daytime hours on Sunday. Obviously, that's as we're bringing that cold air in, so wind chills will be pretty uncomfortable. Those winds start to die down Sunday night into Monday morning, so when we hit our coldest temperatures, mainly Monday morning, by that point, I really don't expect the winds to be much of a factor, so the wind chill shouldn't be much worse than what we're already dealing with air temperature-wise. And to prove that point, again, by late afternoon on Sunday, we're still dealing 10, 15-mile-an-hour winds with temperatures falling below freezing. Those wind chills fall into the teens and 20s. But when actual air temperatures fall into the 20s by early Monday morning, the winds have died down to 3 to 8 miles an hour at that point. And again, they drop the wind chills into the teens, but that's generally what you should probably expect if you're going to see morning lows in the low to mid 20s. Again, this is hard freeze criteria for our area, so the good old leave the faucets dripping is a good idea for Saturday night into Sunday night into Monday morning. Make sure you get those cold weather preps done tomorrow. Today, preferably, because it's so nice outside. You got a couple of hours before it gets too dark, or at least an hour or so before it gets dark. And then tomorrow shouldn't be too bad either. So, like I said, get that kind of stuff done. Open your kitchen and bathroom cabinets. Let all the warmth get there. I'll have some weather wisdom tomorrow at about 11 a.m. For those that just need a little bit more information in that regard. Temperature outlook still shows a very high confidence in the 6 to 10 day and the 8 to 14 day outlook, which includes Christmas Day, of being above average temperature-wise. Again, this does not imply or infer how far above average we will be, just a confidence level of being above average. That said, we're probably going to be a pretty good bit above average, but we don't want to get into the specifics at this point. Overnight lows tonight, mid-40s, a spotty shower not out of the realm of possibilities, especially south of I-20. Daytime highs tomorrow on the low end of the 60s, with the afternoon clouds continuing to be kind of in and out through the course of the day, but I would expect them to increase late in the day. Winds a little bit breezy at times out of the north-northeast, especially late, as we bring that next colder air mass in late tomorrow and into early Sunday. Rain chances up to 20%. Tomorrow night, they actually spike up to about 40-50% in our southern parishes. Again, your specific area's forecast is not what you see here on the 7-day. Those numbers vary depending on location, and you can find that at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app. I know for folks that, again, if you log into the app on a regular basis and you see the 7-day and you go, well, he said 54 for Tuesday. Why does it say that? Because it's all tied to your specific location. And obviously those temperatures are going to vary. Midnight high-low on Sunday, meaning that we will probably be at our high temperature when the time clicks to midnight on Sunday, and then we'll probably be at our low temperature when we hit midnight going into Monday. Temperatures will just fall through the course of the day. Hard freeze expected Monday morning. We will be warmer on Tuesday, but the warm-up really ramps up on Wednesday, pushing us back to near 70, where we could see a weak cold front in parts of next week. And that is how we will wrap up the work week. I know it says midday. This is our late stream. I forgot to change the titles before I hopped on here. I was just so excited to hang out with you fine folks and to wrap up the work week. It's a fairly quiet Saturday, not a whole lot going on until the showers roll back in Saturday night. In terms of content, we'll obviously keep an eye on just the overall conditions and keep an eye on temperatures and the possible impacts in our area. Your fishing game comes out later tonight. We have some weather wisdom that comes out tomorrow morning. So there will be some stuff to kind of keep cold weather on the front of our head, in the front of our brains, as we go through the weekend. Obviously, if there's any cold weather alerts that are passed along by the Weather Service, we'll pass those along as well. Angela, Ethel, May, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And that rhymed. That was kind of cool. And again, that's kind of how we'll leave things. Again, I don't want to set a content schedule for tomorrow or Sunday because I'm just going to kind of inform you as you need to know things. But finish those cold weather preps tomorrow. Forecast is always getting tweaked at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app available for Apple and Android users. I'm always tinkering with the numbers. So, again, if the numbers change, that's just me messing around with the numbers. Always trying to get them as close as possible. And we'll check in with you at least on Monday, but I'll have some more stuff between now and then as we go through the weekend. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. Enjoy your weekend. Have a safe and a wonderful Friday night.